the most effective, the best, the most liked, the most respected leaders that I have ever met are leaders that do far less talking and do way more questioning. They're constantly asking questions and trying to figure out what I can learn from you. What do you know? How can you help me better understand that? Instead of, sometimes as leaders we think we got to go in and know all the answers. The best leaders are the leaders who go in and ask all the questions. Because the people who are really working on the front line, who are really working and doing the day-to-day details, those are the people who know so much. Well, the best example that I have of that is this ship. This is the USS Benfold. It's a $1 billion Navy warship, the most lethal in the Pacific Fleet. This ship was commanded by this handsome man, Mike Abrashoff. Anybody know Mike Abrashoff's story? We got the chance to know Mike Abrashoff when we were doing the research for our Guts book, and he was stationed in San Diego for a while. And this is Mike Abrashoff's story. It's a pretty amazing story. What happened is he was on the dock in San Diego taking command of the USS Benfold, and it was a traditional change of command ceremony. Abrashoff was on the dock, and there were 320 or so sailors on the ship with the previous commander, his predecessor. But what Abrashoff witnessed, it changed his life. It changed his approach to leadership. Because what he saw is 320 sailors cheering the departure of the previous commander. Yeah. That would be a big, huge ouch. And Abrashoff takes a look at the situation. He goes, oh, shoot, that's my ship. And he says, I've been selected for this position because I absolutely know how to get on that ship and tell every single sailor how to do, what to do, and when to do. He said, but I'm not thinking that's going to work. Because if you think back about the data that I shared with you in the very beginning, there were 320 people who were actively disengaged, cheering the departure of the previous commander off. So he's thinking, I got to change this. So what does he do? He decides to ask questions. He decides to take a huge risk. So he invites members, all of the sailors, into his chambers, and he says, what are your goals? What are your visions? What's your dream? Who did you leave back at home? Of all things, why did you decide to join the Navy? And you know what the majority of people answered? I want to do something heroic. I want to give back. I want to serve. So Abrashoff tucked that away. Well, then he asked 3 very simple, very fundamental questions. He said to all the sailors, what do you like about work in the Benfold? What don't you like, and what would you change? And the answers that he got, he didn't own. He didn't do anything with. When they were great ideas, he literally said to the sailor who came up with the idea, great idea, you champion it, you own it, you be accountable, you bring it to life. You make change happen. Abrashoff radically transformed the culture of that ship in 18 months. If you don't think culture change can happen, that's a story of culture transformation. By asking the right questions, creating a sense of ownership, accountability, and responsibility, a lot of the choices we're talking about here. We got the chance to board the USS Benfold and tour it after Mike Abrashoff was gone. And what we learned from the sailors who were still on that ship is this. When Abrashoff left, there was not a dry eye on that ship. Those sailors absolutely loved working under the command of Mike Abrashoff. This is what he told us one day at a lunch. He said, I consider it my job to improve my little 300-person piece of society, that's as much a part of the bottom line, as operational readiness. How big is your piece of society? Is it 3 people? Is it 13 people? Is it 30 people? It doesn't matter how small or how big it is. The question is, have you considered it your role to improve, to influence your piece of society like Mike Abrashoff did? He risked But that ship gained so much. Not only that ship, but the candor that those sailors had the freedom to share with a commanding officer and then had the freedom and the opportunity to execute on. It returned millions and millions of dollars back to the United States Navy and has really transformed many approaches, many operational efficiency issues within the Navy. So candor makes a difference. And then here's another story. Here's a guy, Jimmy Blanchard, the chairman of Synovus Financial, another 100 best company to work for. Here's a leader who goes into every single meeting that he attends, and his first question, to inspire candid conversation, to inspire ideas, to inspire innovation, freedom of thought, risk. What are the 25 dumbest things we do around here? Okay, you think that's super risky, don't you? I would never, ever encourage you to start a meeting with what are the 25 dumbest things. Start small and grow big. Maybe start with what are the 2 dumb things we do around here. But wouldn't it be amazing to really be gutsy and ask that kind of question and see what kind of ideas you come up with? And sometimes we're afraid that those ideas then create more work for us. They don't. If you use them right, the people that are offering up those ideas are the best people to champion those ideas. And maybe that's what they need to lean in to play to their genius. You know, that's a gift that you can give back to them. So risk more.